welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. Just ahead of Diwali, we caught up with Amit Doshi, Chief Marketing Officer, Britannia Industries, about their expectations from the festive season. How is decline in the monthly purchase incidence for essential categories in the rural market impacting their business? And Britannia's marketing plans, and what are the key focus areas for the companies in the coming months? Listen in.
So, Amit, we are meeting, in the thick of the festive season. What were your expectation or Britannia's expectations from the festive season, and how much have been met so far?
We're all keeping fingers crossed that it's going to bounce back after 2 years of subdued consumer sentiment, and we're really looking forward to it. For us, the festive season has many components. One is, of course, as consumers spend a lot more time outside of their homes, it definitely has a positive impact on consumption. Along with that, we also have a gifting business where we have packs of Britannia Shubhkamnaye, which are our assorted packs, which go out into the market. So that's an additional opportunity, consumer opportunity, that we try and service in this period.
Many experts have pointed out how during uncertain times, consumers are more drawn towards established brands, and you have several of those, including Good Day, including NutriChoice, including your Marigold. What is the kind of activity do we expect on these brands?
I'll just give you a few instances that we managed in the last few months. Now, if you look at Good Day has always stood for optimism, stood for happiness, stood for real everyday joys of life, and we're really doubling down on that at this point in time. So what we've chosen on Good Day to do is to celebrate the small moments of happiness, and the latest campaign of Good Day really doubles down on that and creates these real micro moments and celebrates them. And we've also therefore experimented with the format. We've actually have had a bunch of 15-second ads, much like consumers today consume content, but for mainstream television. So that's been the story on Good Day. On Marigold, I think the story's really been about reassuring the consumers that they've always made the right choice. We've stood for getting women to be more and do more across the length and breadth of the country. We've got an extremely successful activation program called a Startup Challenge with Marigold, and we're actually entering the 4th edition of that Startup Challenge. We're very, very excited about what we have planned out for this edition. In addition to that, on a lot of other brands, there has been a lot of excitement on account of innovation. So, for example, we launched Potazos, which is a potato-based cracker. We recently launched Biscafe, which we've propositioned as the perfect accompaniment to coffee. We've launched a few products under the NutriChoice umbrella. NutriChoice seeds and herbs to bring the power of superfoods in snack products, and NutriChoice protein to meet the growing demand of protein nutrition in the country.
Any more innovations coming up in the next few months, or entering further new categories, Amit?
There's a lot of stuff that's happened, not just for us in the recent past in biscuits, but also in allied food products like croissants, dairy products, the Winking Cow, milkshakes. Some of them have seen good success. So that's one part of the innovation story, Shibani. The other part of the innovation story is really bringing in greater innovation into marketing. And that's where, I would say the Britannia team's done a phenomenal job over the last 6 months to build completely new experiences for consumers. So, for example, we spoke about Biscafe. Now, that's our first digital first brand. And we've been able to do a lot of exciting stuff around its launch, right? From tapping into influencers, tapping into new age content, tapping into precision marketing using data and technology. And that's just going to be, I would say, the snippet of more things to come. At Britannia.
There has been a decline in the monthly purchase incidence for essential categories in the rural market, Amit. How is it impacting your business and, more importantly, your marketing plans?
No, that's a good question. I think as far as the rural markets are concerned, it's still not very clear which way they're going to go. And most marketeers, including us at Britannia, are optimistic and confident that the second half of the financial year will see an uptake in rural. The signs are all right, whether you look at the rains or the improvement in the economy, and it needs to really translate into consumption. As far as our plans go, we're very focused on the things that we want to do. There are a few brands that have a big role to play in rural, and our plans, and we like to keep it very simple. We will continue to build our rural infrastructure, get into more villages as far as pop strata coverage is concerned. We make sure that we have the right marketing mixes and products and SKUs going into these markets. And the whole thing around, if you look at rural marketing as a whole, a lot of it is about micro marketing. There is no one size fits all approach. And at any point in time, we've got several initiatives going on, especially I would say in the Hindi heartland, where we're doing a lot of work on the back of milk bikis and the proposition of Doodh Roti Ki Shakti.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Shivani, and all the best to everyone at your end for the festive season.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Michael Conway, Group President for International and Channel Development at Starbucks, speaking about 10 years of Starbucks in India, launching Starbucks Reserve in the country, and how has the 50-50 JV between Starbucks and Tata Consumer Products panned out in India so far. Welcome back. You're watching Storyboard. Tata Starbucks, which has completed a decade of operations in India, announced its first Reserve store in the country in Mumbai this week. Starbucks Reserve store aims to elevate the coffee experience of the brand by introducing an intimate multi-sensor coffee experience to customers. On the sidelines of this launch, I caught up with Michael Conway, the Group President for International and Channel Development at Seattle-based Starbucks, and spoke to him about Starbucks Reserve, how mature is the Indian coffee market, and how has the 50-50 JV between Starbucks and Tata Consumer Products panned out in India so far, and way forward for the brand. Listen in. Michael, welcome to CNBC TV18.
Great to be here.
Michael, 10 years of Starbucks in India, and you're bringing your Reserve to the country. Can you give us more details on what is the kind of experience that we will get out of this Reserve?
Well, first of all, again, great to be here with you on such an incredible occasion, 10 years in India. And for Starbucks, it starts with coffee. It's all about coffee. And Reserve is something that we have in all of our regions around the world. And what Reserve does is allows us to take our coffee craft and push it to the limits. So we look for small lot coffees. We use that to begin to experiment around with different roast curves. And then we push even further by trying through different roast methods or brewing methods like you see here. And what it does is it begins to introduce customers to a whole different kind of coffee experience. And for a market like India, where we've been for 10 years with our core stores, we've been introducing people to Starbucks, introducing people to coffee, introducing people to the experience of connecting over coffee. And now, 10 years later, I couldn't think of a better way to start to elevate the conversation around coffee than to introduce Reserve.
How mature is the India market to get this Reserve experience?
So India, from a coffee perspective, is still, I would say, relatively low consumption when you compare it to some of the Western markets like the US, like in Europe. And it is more of a tea market than it is a coffee market. With that said, what we've seen is that over the last 10 years, coffee consumption here has grown almost nearly double. Now, it's still, relative to the other markets, not as large, but that growth suggests that more and more customers are coming. And as we think then towards the future, something like Reserve starts to begin to elevate the conversation. And then as we start to accelerate, so we have 300 stores now, we're in 34 cities, actually 36 cities. And what that allows us to do is to, again, introduce Starbucks to even more customers and start to introduce coffee to more customers. So still small market from a coffee consumption per capita, but the growth and the acceleration and what we're seeing would suggest that there is so much more potential here as more and more customers experience.
This is also 10 years of JV between the Tata Group and the Starbucks Corporation. If you can share with us, how has that panned out, and How and what did it help Starbucks Corporation achieve?
Yes, that's actually a great question, because for us, as we grow internationally, and we're now in over 84 markets around the world, many of them are in partnership. And so when we look to enter a new market, we look for that right partner, the partner that understands the local market, but importantly, the partner that shares our vision and our vision and our mission and our values. And so when I think about Tata, we couldn't have selected a better partner. We have shared values in terms of the way we care about community, the way in which we care about our partners or our employees, and we've seen that play out over the 10 years. Also, if I think about the shared commitment and investment to bring in more people to coffee and experiencing coffee, we have a shared value there. And so that partnership has been very important for us. So it is a 50-50 joint venture. We don't have many of those around the world. And so that again speaks to the shared commitment and investment and potential that we see here. And I continue to be excited about partnering with Tata and what we can do together.
Yes, and what do you think of the Starbucks experience in India?
Well, I've had the chance to be here for almost a week now. And what I see is, first and foremost, coffee passion. That's important. I said earlier, it starts with coffee, and our baristas are learning and excited about coffee. We have something called a coffee master, where it's almost like a coffee university, and you get a black apron. And what that does is it gets you closer to coffee, and it also helps you explain coffee to customers even more. So we have over 800 coffee masters here across the country out of our almost 3,500 partners. And so that's a large percentage of baristas and partners who know and love coffee. So I see coffee and coffee passion. I also see ultimately the Starbucks experience. And what that is for us is both the experience of the store. And so I've seen just wonderfully designed and beautiful stores where customers want to come in, sit, talk, connect over coffee. We call that the third place. But the key ingredient to the coffee experience and the Starbucks experience is the way our partners connect with our customers. And so that's what I've seen, is a deep connection and ability to try to get to know each customer, to make them feel at home, to make them feel welcome, to help them in their journey as they discover coffee, to suggest. And that together creates the perfect Starbucks experience. So for me, the Starbucks experience is alive and well here in India, and that gives me great confidence in the potential we have ahead.
And your thoughts on the Starbucks positioning in the India market?
So our positioning within India is fairly consistent with our positioning around the world, and that's what makes Starbucks special. When people travel, and even if you don't travel and you've heard of Starbucks, you want to experience and expect what you get in other markets. And so our positioning is fairly consistent, but one of the things we're doing here, and we do in all our markets, is to ensure that we bring what people expect for Starbucks, but then look for those ways to customize and tailor for the unique market. Hence, we have the right partner that can help us figure that out. We've been experimenting around with different menu items, food items, to make sure that it's as inviting as it can possibly be. And I think we're getting that right.
Also, Michael, if you can share, how are the inflationary headwinds impacting your plans and growth strategy for the markets?
Well, like all global companies, we are not immune to some of the inflationary challenges. So if you look at some of our input costs, et cetera, we are certainly feeling that. But from a customer perspective, we're actually seeing that our brand is quite resilient, and we are not seeing any challenges right now from a customer demand perspective. And I think that speaks to the power of the brand, the power of the customization, the way in which the customers come to Starbucks, not just for the coffee, but for the relationship, for the experience. And so, so far, our brand has been fairly resilient.
Yeah, and this is an experience in its own, the Reserve experience. If you can share with us, what is the kind of budget earmarked for this Reserve in the coming months?
Well, so this is our first store here in the market, and we haven't decided exactly how many more and how we want to budget around that. I think our focus is on the customer and bringing the customers in and having them enjoy an experience. And for something like this, we're less focused on exactly what that budget is and what the future is, but really more around ensuring that we create the right experience. And I think as we start to learn, because what we want to do is also learn, as we elevate the coffee experience, our customers Are they appreciating it? Are they understanding it? As we attract more, I think that will help us understand how we want to then use and adjust our budget so that we can introduce more customers to the Reserve experience.
Okay, and what are the key focus areas for the coming months?
Well, for us, it's about partners first. So we want to make sure that our partners are continuing to be engaged and feel valued, and we invest in their education. We invest in making sure that they feel valued. We want to invest in our stores, so we're constantly looking to elevate our stores. And as we look to invest in open new stores, we want to make sure that we have the right stores and the right experience for our customers. And then the final area is actually around convenience. We're finding that customers want many more convenient experiences. And convenient comes in a lot of different ways. It comes in the ability to order ahead. It comes in the ability to get delivery. It comes even in maybe drive-through. We don't have many drive-throughs, but we're experimenting around with that. And it comes in exactly the phones. Everyone has phones in the digital experience, and we're trying to create a more customized and personalized experience with our customers. And so through digital, through loyalty, and introducing more people to Starbucks in that way. So we want to make it more convenient. So those are a few of the areas that we're investing in.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us for this discussion.
Thank you so much.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we are in a special discussion on the upcoming FIFA World Cup 2022. Forbes India and Sports 18 present Marketing Playfield.